Hey everybody, welcome to your horoscopes for this week. These are the horoscopes for the week ending October 1st, 2017. We're officially heading into October, if you can believe it, guys. And we got some really awesome things going on astrologically this week, including Mercury leaving that T-square with Neptune and Saturn. That T-square and the mutable grand crosses and all of that has been such a pain in the rear. It's over and done with, at least for now. And at least any planets that are going to be sitting in Virgo for a long time. So that's the good news. But what's it going to be like for everybody else? Let's go ahead and get right to it. And we're going to start, as we always do, with Aries. Now, this week, Uranus's trine with Mars is really helping you out, especially in situations where they can be kind of boring, if you know what I mean. Now, boredom is the Ram's, like, Achilles heel. You just can't have an Aries that's bored. It's just, is all bad. And most of the time with most Aries, they like to get up and, of course, make life happen. And that's what the Ram's job is all about. Aries people, male, female, know that when it comes to boredom, they are the ones that can save themselves from that. And this week, that's what it's all about. Find something new that you've always wanted to do, or go on a trip that you've always wanted to go on, or throw yourself into a brand new awesome project. Anything that you can do to eliminate that boredom, because the truth is, a bored ram is a very unhappy ram, and rams know how to shine, and that's by hard work and really putting yourself into it. So you guys have a great week with that. Taurus, when it comes to spending time with those that you love, this is the Taurus's absolute favorite thing to do, of course. It is every other sign's favorite thing, but for Tauruses, it's really what life is all about when you think about it. And this week it's all about spending time with those that you love, and there's ample opportunities in your schedule to do just that. Now, when it comes down to it, spending time with those that you love, or those people that you love, I should say, is definitely something that you need, but you don't realize just how much they need it too. So it's actually kind of a two-way street. And in a world full of chaotic relationships, and we all have them, and all of our relationships can be chaotic at times. There is no perfect relationship that isn't, and if somebody says that they have one, they're probably lying. But in a world full of chaotic relationships, it's that time spent together having fun and bonding that really counts. And the more time you spend together bonding, the less chaotic the relationship is going to be. So this week, ample opportunities to spend time with those that you love. Not just a few people in your house. We're talking people, all of these people that are really important to us. Sometimes we just need that and that only in order to really take ourselves from not really knowing what's going to happen to steering on a clear course. Sometimes that's all you need to kind of sort of clear your head and be able to move forward. Whatever it is that you need it for, guaranteed the rest of your family is going to need it too. So you guys have a great week with that. Gemini, relationship maintenance is what's in store for you this week. And of course, all relationships need a little bit of maintenance from time to time. It's just like a car. You know, you got to change the oil and check the fluids and put gas in it in order for it to keep going. Well, relationships are very much like that. They need fuel and they need gasoline and they need maintenance in order to keep going. Now, we're talking about your closest relationships, but not necessarily just your love partnerships. All of your really close relationships, your family, your friends, those people that are really closest to you, are the people that you allow into your inner circle. Now, what exactly is relationship maintenance? Taking a look at the relationship and the difficulties in the relationship. When you're doing maintenance, it gives you an opportunity to take a look at those difficult parts of the relationship and really understand the part that you play in the difficulty. Now, this is obviously not something that's easy for everybody to do. You really have to look at it honestly and openly. And when you do find those things that you need to fix, you can't beat yourself up over not fixing them already. You just have to have the faith in yourself to be able to fix them. Doing this is a great thing because you're able to actually deal with those things that are in your control, taking you out of feeling like everybody else has to change their perception or what they're doing in order for you to make any changes. This promotes successful relationships, and it also really shows you just how much others will react to the changes that you make. If most of the time they will react in a positive way, but if they're not reacting in a positive way, well, then it's teaching you a little bit more about that relationship. So this week, don't be afraid to do a little bit of maintenance on your relationships, but specifically your role in your relationships. Because the truth is, we all play 1,000 different roles, and we need to stop every once in a while and make sure that we're playing the right roles. So you guys have a great week with that. Cancer, money sure doesn't come to you easily, does it? But hard work always has its payoff, and this is what it's about this week. You're going to find ample, many small ways that your hard work is paying off. And as you look at all of these little ways that your hard work is paying off, they all kind of sort of grow into one big way that your hard work has been paying off. Now, it's really important to celebrate every single one of these little triumphs, because as you celebrate, you're putting the energy out there that says, I want more, I want to celebrate more. And every celebration becomes a stronger energy to draw what you want to you and repel what you don't want coming to you. So this week, it's time to really focus, really celebrate, really pay attention to all of those little ways that you're succeeding, especially monetarily, because the truth is, the more you succeed, and even the most significant, I found a dime on the floor is a mini celebration, because the truth is, again, the more you celebrate your triumphs, the more that celebratory energy is going out there, and the more money is going to come to you. So you guys have a great week with that. Leo, the moon kicks off this week in your sign, lining up with Saturn, Jupiter, and Uranus in very positive ways, bringing you some very positive luck when it comes to money. And we're talking about bringing you some money that you've really been needing lately. And you've got a lot of plans and you've got a lot of things that you want to do with that money. But this week, you really want to make sure that you pay attention to where you're spending that money. As that money comes into you, of course, if you are anything like me, okay, we'll just say, if you're anything like me, you've had hardships, you know exactly what you want to put the money into, and then you get the money and you go absolutely hog wild because you have money and you want to go shopping or something. It's really important not to do that this week, no matter how sorely you may be tempted to do that. The truth is, you already have plans on where that money needs to go and where it needs to be delegated. And even though it might be temporarily fun to blow a little bit of that money, later on in the week, you just might be sorry. So do yourself a favor and eliminate that problem altogether. Yes, it's kind of bumming not to go out and spend a little bit frivolously, even though you do deserve it. I agree, you do deserve it, but it's a lot less disappointing than finding out that you really needed to allocate that money somewhere and you don't have it because you spent frivolously. So you guys have a great week with that. Virgo, Mercury moves out of that T-squared position and out of opposition with Neptune and Saturn this week, meaning that that horrendous aspect is officially over. When I say officially over, I mean it's pretty much done with. You're going to have a little bit of a problem once a month or so for the next couple of months when the moon comes into your sign, which is no big deal. And that's going to happen this week, as a matter of fact. And of course, Mercury's continued trine with Pluto, which is also moving direct this week, by the way, is really helpful because as this T-square kind of finishes up, Pluto moves into direct motion at the same time, and it's gonna feel like somebody popped the cork and released the chains that have bound you from being able to do what you want all this time, which is a great energy to have. And now what are you going to do with that energy? I hope that you're going to put everything you got into making what you want to make, into being what you want to be, into doing what it is that you want to do. This week kickstarts the rest of your life, basically, but it definitely kickstarts a forward movement, things actually falling into place like they're supposed to, and things actually working out in a way that's a little bit more organized and a little bit easier for a Virgo to deal with. Definitely a lot less chaotic. So this week it's time to enjoy the energy moving in the right direction again. Have a little celebration because you did it. You got through the challenge. It was a big one. You didn't think you were going to get through it, but you did get through it. And it's worth celebrating. And then, whatever it is, whatever prize you got your eye on, it's time to go get it. So you guys have a great week with that. Libra, happy birthday to all the Libras born this week, especially the most important Libra in the world, and that would be Drummer Dave, who's kicking off this week with a birthday because he's awesome. And I could say I hope you're spoiled rotten that day, but I'm in charge of that and I'm pretty sure that it's gonna happen. But happy birthday, Dave. I love you to pieces. And just in case nobody else knows, you are the most amazing, the most intelligent, and the most wonderful man on the planet. For all the rest of you Libras, it's going to be one of those weeks where you're going to be tested a little bit as Jupiter and the Sun move into squared position with Pluto. Now Pluto is of course moving into direct motion, which is good, but when we're talking about a square, that's a little bit of a challenge aspect, as it feels like everything that you've been working towards is going to come to a halt when you feel like you're expected to lose your morals or your values in order to move forward. Now this is a sticky situation for anybody, but for Libras, it's very sticky because Libras stand true to what they believe in. They always do. And they do not like to be told what to believe. So when you're faced with a situation where it feels like you have to compromise those beliefs, it can be very difficult. Now, the test here really is, are you going to fall for that muck? Because the truth is, it's your choice. You could compromise those values or those morals and continue doing what you're doing, or you can stop right there and say, I'm not going any further until I get my way. The truth is, if you are that good, and you're a Libra, so chances are you are, nobody organizes a game plan like you, and nobody works harder than you do. So those people that really want you to be there to continue to do the job are going to still want you to do it with or without those morals. You stick to your guns this week, Libras, because that is what you guys are all about. And nobody, and I mean nobody, asks you to compromise who you are specifically to get what you want. A lot of people would do that, but you guys aren't going to do that because that's just not the Libra way. So you guys have a great week with that. Scorpio, Venus's grand sextile with Pluto and Neptune this week is beautiful. It's powerful. It's showing you the love, and you'll see that love around you coming from so many different places. When you feel like you have a lot of love and support from friends and family and people around you, it's what really holds you up. It makes you feel powerful. And this week, the dark moon is also in your sign to really show you how to use this energy wisely. Now the truth is, we all go through these times where we feel like we've got tons of support from people, and then we go through times where we feel we have no support from people. When you're going through those times where you have tons of support, you literally see the reflection of that love from others reflected back at you in the mirror. It becomes you. You become it. That feeling is all around you, and you're walking around in this big, beautiful pink love bubble all the time, and you feel it and you project it out into everything. Well, this week the dark moon is reminding you that that energy lives inside of you, and those people don't have to be there in order for that love to come out. It's very simple. Enjoy it while you have it, and when you don't have it, tap into that energy and give it to yourself is basically what we're trying to get at here. You support you first, and all the other support that you get from everybody else is just a perk. But of course, using that energy from everybody else is definitely a first step towards really understanding how to do it for you. So you guys have a great week with that. Sagittarius. Saturn's square with Neptune is hashing up some old junk from the closet, and especially with Neptune being in retrograde, we're talking about some deep, deep, deep stuff here, unfortunately. Now, nobody likes to deal with that stuff, but this is a situation, and this is stuff that keeps coming up over and over and over again. And it will continue to keep coming up over and over and over again until you understand what this stuff is trying to tell you. That's what it's all about, is learning from those experiences. I was just talking with somebody today, as a matter of fact, about the difference between growing up in a privileged family versus growing up in a chaotic, abusive family. That chaotic, abusive family actually taught me how to survive in the world. Whereas growing up in a privileged family may not have, to be honest with you. I've met some people born into a privileged family, and they didn't seem to really understand the world as much as I did, because I had to learn to survive through it. Now, these circumstances, of course, were painful circumstances that I went through, but understanding them and understanding what these circumstances taught me is really what it's about. And this is what it's about for you guys this week. Being open and being able to learn from the circumstance frees you, one, from the feelings that you're holding on to of the circumstance, and two, helps you to understand where you were strong in that situation so that you can be strong again somewhere else in your life. It really is a powerful learning tool. So this week, stop avoiding it, because it's going to keep coming up and plaguing you and being a horribly emotional experience until you do anyways. What have you got to lose? And you're already there anyways. You might as well take a look at it for what it is and try and learn something about yourself because of it. I guarantee you, once you do, things are going to look completely different. So you guys have a great week with that. Capricorn, Pluto's grand sextile with Neptune and Venus is awesome this week, providing tons and tons and tons of support from those around you to harvest and really make something of some brilliant ideas that are coming to you at this time. And we're not just talking some good ideas, we're talking gold mines here. There's gold mine ideas coming out of your head this week. And all of that support around you and all of those people that are there to support you, those people that, by the way, think these are also fantastic ideas, are there willing to help you and are ready when you are ready to delegate tasks to make these things happen. Because the truth is, these are big things now. These are not things that you can do all on your own. And the truth is, this idea, some of these ideas are just too good to keep to yourself. You got to share them. Everybody has their own unique abilities. And by bringing all these people together to help you manifest this idea into a reality is very important this week. Besides, that whole one-man band thing, yeah, you've tried that. It didn't work. It's not going to work this time. Rely on that support. Be open to that support and make something absolutely fantastic out of these ideas, because I'm telling you, they're so good. They deserve to be out there. So you guys have a great week with that. Aquarius, going back to the beginning of where you are now, or the beginning of the plans that got you to where you are now, is always necessary. It may not be the Aquarian's favorite thing in the world. Most Aquarians prefer to move forward rather than backward. But you have to go back to the beginning and take a look at where you started every now and then. You always start off with a plan, and I'm all for the universe's plan coming into your plan. This is not necessarily what I'm talking about. But you have a specific plan and a specific focus. And over time, depending on how much time actually goes by, things have a way of changing. Now, some of that is the universe's way of taking your plan and changing it to fit what's actually going to happen, or fate-wise. But some of these changes are actually distractions that you really don't need. And as you're going through day by day by day, you don't notice that they're distractions. You don't even notice that you made these changes. This week, go back to the beginning. Go back to the first steps of the foundation that were laid down to really make sure that you are taking yourself on the right track. If there are any deviations or any distractions, you want to, of course, address those and eliminate them as much as possible, or at least put them in a place where they're not going to be distractions. I'm all for having fun and doing fun things, but of course if the fun overrides the work, then it really doesn't work. So you have to have a balance there of both. By doing this, gives you the opportunity to really make sure that you're on the right track and keeps you accountable and keeps you going in the right direction. And we definitely always want to make sure that we're going in the right direction. So you guys have a great week with that. And finally, Pisces. While Neptune's square with Saturn does feel or make you feel like you're getting pulled into your own emotional hell, Neptune's grand sextile with Pluto and Venus is really showing you what you need to learn from this situation. Now, when you feel this emotional pull deep inside of yourself, it's a very lonely feeling. It feels like it's you against the world. And the more you slip down into that hole, the more lonely it gets. But this grand sextile is here to show you just how much support not only do you have now, but you've always had during these times. It's just that sometimes your own feelings make it difficult for you to see the support that you do have around you. Being open to it and really paying attention to the support system that you have around you helps to pull you out of that emotional hole and really has you starting to feel like maybe things are not as bad as they seem. And when you do feel like you're being pulled in there and you do feel lonely, you can always use that energy as a reminder of what you really do have to work with. Because the support system, especially the kind of support system that you have, is something that not everybody in the world has. And the truth is, it's a very important thing, and it's all yours. You made that support system. Those people wouldn't be there if they didn't love you. And that is what it's all about. So you guys have a great week with that. Thanks so much for watching the horoscopes this week. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Don't forget to get your orders in for the 2017 13 card tarot prediction or the 2017 natal chart projection readings. They're both predictions that are going to help you out throughout the year. The 13 card tarot is a card for every single month, and the 13th card to tie it all together. These readings I've been doing for about 6 years now. They're amazing. All of my clients love them. I have a couple of clients that have not missed a year getting these readings. They love them that much. So jot on over to heavymetalpsychic.com and find out how you can get your readings for 2017. Again, I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching the horoscopes, and have a great week. I'll see you guys next week.